In this video, we explore the southeastern part of the Côte d'Azur on the French Mediterranean. Just west of Monaco along the French Riviera lies Cap Ferrat, a small, elegant seaside commune. Nestled between steep cliffs, lush hillsides, and the sparkling Mediterranean, it has a quieter, more intimate charm compared to its glitzy neighbour. Cap Ferrat is a small, elegant seaside commune with a population of around 10,000 that blends the quiet charm of a residential town with the glamour of the Côte d'Azur. The community is known for its Mediterranean architecture, pastel-colored villas, Belle Époque buildings, and modern apartments perched on steep hillsides overlooking the sea. Many homes have terraced gardens filled with pines, oleanders, and fragrant flowers, giving the town a lush, green character. One reminder of the nearby luxury state, helicopters shuttle back and forth between Monaco and the superyachts anchored just off the coast, their rotors cutting through the bright Mediterranean sky. The sleek machines land briefly on the decks, dropping off or picking up privileged passengers who travel in style between their private vessels and the principality. Known as a playground for the super-rich and famous, the town sees relatively few outside visitors, giving it a quiet, private atmosphere despite its glamorous surroundings. We descend toward the beach along a road lined with villas and lush gardens, leading to the sea and the rocky outcrop that forms a small peninsula. This tiny paradise is threaded with a graveled path that meanders among the local flora and fauna. Mediterranean pines, oleanders, and wildflowers border the trail, while seabirds wheel overhead, lizards dart across the rocks, and waves crash against the rugged cliffs below, completing the rich coastal scenery. Dom wants to go for a swim, but the rocks are slippery and the crashing waves make it too treacherous. Even from the shore, the turquoise water looks inviting, yet the rugged coastline reminds us that this paradise demands caution. We decide to explore a little further, searching for a safer spot to enter the water. In addition to the high cliffs, sharp and slippery rocks, the strong waves and currents below make the water just as perilous. I would definitely not want to risk swimming here. A plaque indicates that this area is a marine protected area, a designated marine space set aside for the long-term protection of biodiversity, ecosystems, and the services they provide, while supporting sustainable human activities. These areas are managed collaboratively, involving multiple stakeholders to ensure effective conservation. Above the elegant villas and turquoise coves of Cap Ferrat rises Tête de Chien, a striking 550-meter limestone promontory that forms a dramatic backdrop to both Cap Ferrat and neighboring Monaco. Its name, meaning dog's head, comes from the crag's distinctive silhouette when seen from certain angles. From the coastline, its rugged outline crowns the Riviera skyline. Once a strategic lookout point, the mountain is now a favorite for hikers, offering panoramic views that stretch across Monaco, the Italian Riviera, and far out over the Mediterranean Sea. This plant is the Hottentot fig, also known as witch's claws. Native to South Africa, it was introduced along Mediterranean coasts as an ornamental plant and for stabilizing embankments, valued for its rapid growth, ability to bind soil, and resistance to drought, fire, and sea spray. However, these same traits have made it a serious ecological threat. By spreading aggressively, Carpobrotus species outcompete native vegetation, leading to a decline in local biodiversity through a process known as competitive exclusion. Dom hasn't yet found a safe place to slip into the sea for a swim, so we decide to press on towards our next landmark, the seaside trail known as Le Chemin des Douaniers, clearly visible from our vantage point on the peninsula. As we set off along the trail, we spot a staircase leading down to an unguarded beach tucked behind a building, just the kind of place where Dom could have safely entered the water. But with our attention fixed on the path ahead, he abandons any thought of a swim, and we continue along the trail instead. The trail stretches ahead under the unrelenting sun, with no shade to offer respite, though occasional sea breezes provide fleeting relief from the heat. Few other hikers share the path, leaving the rhythmic crash of waves against the rocks as the dominant soundtrack. The only interruptions come from helicopters ferrying passengers to and from Monaco. The towering pinnacle of a lone, flourishing century plant, Agave americana, catches our attention. Its inflorescence thrusts several meters skyward, rising well above the edge of the path. Here, the trail splits, but we stay on the main path and pass a well and a yucca tree. On the opposite side of the path, a plaque provides botanical information, quietly marking this resilient coastal plant. The name of the trail literally translates to Customs Officer's Coastal Path. This scenic route hugs the cliffs and shoreline of Cap Ferrat. Historically patrolled by customs officers, it is now a well-maintained, mostly pedestrian path that curves along rocky coves, pine forests, and sheer cliff edges. Along the way, small hidden beaches can be reached, offering turquoise waters and secluded spots for sunbathing. Somewhere halfway down the trail, the path narrows as it enters a dim, rocky tunnel carved into the cliffside. Its walls are rugged, worn, and scarred by years of wind and salt spray, yet the tunnel's shadow offers a cool welcome, a brief respite from the blazing sun outside. The path is not difficult to walk, its terrain mostly gentle and well kept, but the lack of shade makes it a true challenge on hot days, yet the dazzling views reward every step along the exposed trail. Here, we come upon a surprising sight. A bronze statue of Winston Churchill, installed to face the horizon he so loved. Churchill's connection to the town stemmed from his friendship with Lord Beaverbrook, the businessman and wartime minister who owned Villa Capencina, a neo-Provençal villa built in the 1920s for couturier Edward Molyneux. During his stays, Churchill was inspired by the serene landscapes, dedicating himself to painting and writing his memoirs. The sculpture captures not just the politician, but the man himself, Churchill the painter, the thinker, the complex personality behind the public figure. He is depicted wearing a painter's jacket over aristocratic attire, carrying a cane, and even having paintbrushes tucked in his pocket, and of course with his signature cigar. The statue overlooks the coastal path, framed by the blues of sea and sky, inviting walkers to pause and reflect on the man who painted, wrote, and left his mark on this corner of the Riviera. We have nearly reached the port of Cap d'Ai, and as the trail ahead appears increasingly less scenic, we decide to return to the spot where the path splits. The contours of this rock formation resemble a lion gazing over the waves. The site evokes the merlion, Singapore's iconic mascot, a mythical creature with the head of a lion, representing land, and the body of a fish, symbolizing water, embodying the city-state's unique location. The Cap d'Ai Coastal Path, also known as the Customs Officer's Path, is about 3.6 kilometers long. Once patrolled by customs officers to watch for smugglers, it now offers walkers breathtaking views of turquoise waters, dramatic cliffs, and hidden coves. Dotted with stairways, tunnels, and occasional benches shaded by pines, the trail combines history and natural beauty, making it one of the most scenic walks on the French Riviera. It is early afternoon, likely the hottest time of the day, and the direct exposure to the sun along the path has left us exhausted. When we reach the well we passed earlier, Dom leans forward and plunges his head beneath the cool stream of water, letting it run over his hair and face. From here, we follow the upward path into a narrow alley, embraced by a welcome shade. The path eventually brings us back to where we had parked our car. With the afternoon still stretching ahead, we decide to continue towards Nice, keeping an eye out for a quieter stretch of coast where Dom might finally find the perfect spot for a swim. Our first stop, however, is for a late lunch in the seaside community of Eze. Nestled along the railway tracks, the village overlooks a tranquil bay dotted with large luxury yachts. Situated close to Monaco and Nice, Eze is easily accessible and offers a serene escape from these larger cities. The village is home to the Chemin de Neighbour, a steep, winding footpath that links the seaside settlement to the hilltop village above. Named after the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, who reputedly walked the route for inspiration, the path climbs through rugged terrain, featuring a series of switchbacks with panoramic views over the Mediterranean. After the meal, we pause at a scenic spot for photographs. We are near Beaulieu-sur-Mer. Its name means beautiful place on the sea. This picturesque seaside village, with a population of around 3,700, offers a tranquil yet sophisticated atmosphere. Inhabited since prehistoric times, the village boasts a rich history. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, it became a favored winter retreat for European aristocracy and artists, including Leo Tolstoy and Igor Stravinsky. Adjacent to the viewpoint is a desolate beach with easy access to the water. Yet Dom decides against swimming here, so we agree to continue on toward Nice. The drive takes us through Villefranche-sur-Mer, where we pause once more to take in the sweeping views of its beautiful bay, before finally heading on to nearby Nice. Here, we head straight to the beach, a long, gently curving strip of pebbles and sand, where Dom can finally dive into the refreshing Mediterranean. As Dom descends toward the beach, I watch a group of thrill-seekers clinging to a large inflatable raft, towed at speed by a motorboat skimming across the turquoise waters. The riders bounce and sway with each wave, their laughter and shouts carrying across the sunlit bay. As they disappear into the distance, another speedboat appears, towing a raft back toward the beach. Then I spot Dom on the pebbled beach, now changed and ready for a swim.
Ça me fait quand j'ai vu les deux filles avec leur parasol là. Moi c'est quoi le but de la mine moi.
From the same spot where the towed rafts had departed and returned, I now see a duo of parasailers take off, secured to a brightly colored parachute and tethered to a speedboat. As the boat accelerates, pulling them across the sparkling water, they slowly lift off the waves. The parachute inflates fully, catching the wind, and the parasailers rise gracefully into the sky.